I'm worried about him. He only had one shot of tequila and a beer. I'm worried about him. Hope he gets home safe. Gonna need a life alert soon. Let's get that energy going for our next comic, Mario Chavez.
What's happening, Duck Puppy? Who wants to hear about the most savage story I ever heard? It isn't about me, by the way. Anybody with bitch sticks like these, it can't be savage, I'll tell you that much. So this story takes back at school back in the 4th grade, maybe 1983. And just like a normal school, we had a field in the back, and some of the neighbors would walk their dogs back there. But what was unique about this field at school, it had a honeysuckle bush in the back of the street. And if you eat enough of those fucking things before school, by the end of the day, you were gonna shit a pink sock. Anybody knows what a pink sock? That's when your asshole would go inside out. But this is not about your asshole. This is about a young boy, a young Punjabi boy named Jatinder Patel. Now Jatinder, we liked him right away because he was the only little brown kid back in 1983 that didn't have an afro. And when he came into the classroom for the first time, you know, he dressed like somebody who was about to do your fucking taxes, which caught our attention right away. He had them IT specialist 2 forces with the wooden shoes with the wooden heels at the bottom, and he came in there like Seinfeld, just slid in the fucking front door. I'm late for school, and we liked him right away. And Jatinder was just built different. He was a tough kid. I mean, he would be back in that honeysuckle field for the first 2 weeks he was there, just loading up his pockets. He was getting fucking stung by bees and shit. He didn't give a fuck. Hey! And, you know, and he would go back to eating that shit. One day, Jatinder met our school bully, a guy named Eric Walker. Eric Walker was a big Puerto Rican kid with an afro. And he walked up to Jatinder just out of the blue and grabbed his little patka, the little ball thing that the Indian kid would wear. He took it and he threw it on the ground. All of us were fucking shocked. We couldn't believe what the fuck was going on. Like, holy shit. Jatinder looked at him and said, "I kill a man for less." And immediately ate the hardest punch to the face I've ever fucking seen in my life. And he got pummeled. And Eric was basically windmilling him and we on the ground, and we thought Jatinder was going to fold until divine intervention stepped in. And God placed a pile of wet dog shit on the grass, and Jatinder grabbed it and mushed it in Eric Walker's afro. Now, if you've ever seen Gumby, where his head comes up at, it's at an angle, that's what his hair looked like. And he started to get sick and throw up everywhere, and Jatinder got up and seized the opportunity and beat the brakes off that motherfucker. He beat the shit out of him. And then got up and walked away like a fucking boss and went into the neighborhood and went home. Well, that happened on a Friday. Monday comes around and Jatinder's in the back eating honeysuckle, just not a care in the world, 2 black eyes on his fucking face, you know, the scars from fucking the Friday before. And fucking Eric Walker shows up with his older brother this time. And his older brother was much bigger than us, a few grades higher. He's either a few grades higher or he's retarded or something. I don't remember, but he was never really at school. He was in those classes that you would go to early in the morning, you know, he'd show up on the short bus. And immediately starts to beat the fuck out of Jatinder for beating up his little brother. And just so happened, divine intervention steps in again. And Jatinder's taking a beating and he's about to fold, and he looks over and he grabs another pile of wet dog shit and he stuffs it in Eric Walker's brother's mouth. Oh. They both started throwing up. Eric Walker and his older brother, I guess they didn't have the stomach for it. And Jatinder seized the opportunity and beat the fuck out of both of them this time with dog shit on his hands. Now, for one, it brings up a whole new self-defense. It's totally viable. You're chasing people with dog shit on your hands, totally viable. But at the same time, it taught us what true grit really was and what perseverance really was. And it taught us the life lessons, warrior lessons. And years later, I ran into Eric Walker at a Hayward Adult School. I was trying to get my life together, and I seen this punk ass in there.
Oh, no.
And he didn't recognize me, but I recognized him. And I walked up to him, and he was just as cocky as ever. And I said, "Hey, is your name Eric Walker?" And he goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I said, "Do you remember a dude named Jatinder Patel?" And he went from cocky to autistic right away, just like that. He just started looking down. And he paid attention in class after that, and he never said a fucking word, right? So, anyway, he ended up moving on with his life and getting a really good job. I like to think I was responsible for that. And here I am telling you about the legendary Dookie fighter, Jatinder Patel, and what he did for us. And here I am in this comedy club telling you a shitty joke. Anyway,
It ain't you.
that's the fuck. That's my time. Thank you.
One more time for Mario Chavez, everybody. One more time.